Ongo, and that is an odd one for me.
He's a fantastic Kalista player.
Well, I
Played it
assume
throughout
that's
his
why it was
playoffs. He builds a really weird item building. He goes like Blade of the Ruined King,
Yeah,
QSS,
the Randuins?
Hurricane, Bloodthirst, Aranduin's Omen. It's kind of his build that he goes,
Interesting.
which is really fun.
Almost as fun as his Essence Reaver Ezreal.
Yeah, hopefully we never see that.
No.
As
What are you
Hecarim now
talking
taken
about?
off the Rift. Gragas soon to follow as well.
Blue side Hecarim Ben.
Yeah, so obviously not wanting to play that one in the top lane. Bonzen has shown that he prefers the Shyvana, so why not continue to run Shyvana if that is what you prefer over the Hecarim?
It's a very good point. We'll see what they are going to lock in for the first pick. Of course, there are a lot of champions available. Janna is there. That is one of them. Is going to be locked away immediately. Does leave a few things open. Tholdren hovering over the Riven.
Yeah, it does like to pick that one up. I am not expecting it, however, with Shyvana still being able to run around. You just get boots to in a Sunfire Cape, or that challenging smite in the case that you take away the smite. Wow, that was a bad sentence. You're able to duel very effectively against Riven is what I'm trying to spit out.
You got there in the end, I believe, so you were absolutely fine. Tholdren actually continuing to hover this one, not mixing it up too much. You can see serious faces on our Beşiktaş lineup as Theocles yet to hover anything, and we'll see what they decide to lock away for the first couple of picks. Sejuani is there for Theocles if he wants to grab that one. Lulu's available as well. We saw, of course, Warlock do fantastic things. A few Lulu players on the Beşiktaş lineup, but Theocles thinking about Nunu here, and with Morgana as well, this could be a massive Nardius in this game.
Yeah, it certainly could be. Maybe they go for a Razor Puppy comp and just match fire with fire. Nardius versus Udapon in that bottom lane. We see the Shyvana coming through for Bonzen. I expect that to be locked in. It's a very safe blind pick at the moment. Not many things can force Shyvana off farm. In fact, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that really does it.
Astro, though, thinking about heading over to the Rek'Sai. She is most definitely a very good early skirmishing option and does have a whole lot more gank pressure than a Nunu does.
Yeah, it certainly does. So we'll see whether he can get into lanes early and affect it, or whether Theocles can dictate the pace of the jungle with some good counter jungling, with some good counter ganks, and Ward Vision just being able to set it up there. In the top lane, Bonzen, the third game in a row, picking up Shyvana, looking to be that huge tank. And I've been waiting for this, Atlas. The Azir is picked up with a Nunu in the lineup. It is so deadly, the attack speed. You can throw it on Nardius, but you can also throw it on Energy now.
And that's looking to be a top lane Morgana too.
Yeah, it certainly is, with a huge black shield coming out there. I think that's dangerous because will be very easy to actually kill if you are.
Well, there's also Bonzen. I mean, there is going to be no pressure.
They don't pick it up, so they go with the Ahri and they go with the Gnar.
Okay, so it is going to be a support Morgana. Gnar, still a second to go, is going to be locked in here for Tholdren in the top side of the map. So much better option there than Morgana, because that Shyvana is going to have to pay attention to the Gnar.
Yeah,
maybe.
Still doesn't. You pick up boots too, Ninja Tabby, and then you just farm out the wave and leave. The thing about Shyvana is she doesn't deny CS, more that she just pushes the lane in extremely hard, then goes elsewhere and tries to get more farm than what you can, especially in the 1v1. I think if they 2v1 it, it will be a little bit harder, as Udapon is actually hovering his Vayne now into an Ahri pickup, and that is incredibly brave. Not to mention the fact that Theocles has one of the best answers to shutting down a hyper carry in that snowball.
Yeah, that snowball almost impossible to deal with, especially when you're a Vayne wanting to stack that attack speed very early on. Of course, often wants to go for double attack speed items, as Kazu thinking about what he wants, and with Azir available, it has to be locked away. But what I didn't mention, Vayne locked in here for Udapongo.
Yeah, so Udapon, he's able to pick up the Vayne again, still has the summoner heal. We'll see if he swaps over to the exhaust when we see who the AD is, and it will be Lucian. And this is strange to me because Vayne actually deals with Lucian very well. Throw in the fact that Lucian Morgana actually isn't that strong of a lane, and all of a sudden, the Janna Vayne lane, which should never win, is in with a chance in a 2v2.
Yeah, and it is going to be locked away. Of course, one of the reasons why Vayne does win that lane, the Piercing Light, able to be tumbled out of the way off. That's a lot of damage done.
Yeah, so if you play it particularly well, even if he clicks on you with a Piercing Light, you should be able to get out of 100% of the damage that comes through with that one.
Yeah, precisely. But Nardius more than comfortable on that champion, seen him on it before, so making sure that he's on a pick that he's happy to use. And I guess having the culling there as well, able to deal with minion waves very effectively. Of course, being able to get a lot of damage done in a team fight from a long way away is going to be helpful, especially against the zoning power of an Azir. So I sort of understand that, but we'll see how it does work out as Beşiktaş with a bit of a raise the puppy comp almost, but it's only really the Morgana Nunu here that are going to be helping Lucian out.
Yeah, exactly right. So he's got some support tools there, able to shrug off some of the CC that will come through, although there's not a lot of hard CC on the lineup of Detonation Focus Me. They're more of a, once again, a split push lineup with Seros trying to wave clear in the mid lane. Good disengage tools from everyone now. Kazu, he's got the disengage from Janna. We already spoke about how hard it is to dive Rek'Sai because of that knock-up. You throw in there the fact that the Emperor's Divide can come through and shove everyone off, and the fantastic wave clear that comes through from Azir. Once again, don't want to mention it, but it looks like Detonation Focus Me are running a 1-3-1.
Yeah, that does seem to be the thing. And one thing I do want to note is the fact that Absolute Zero is probably never going to be channeled for more than half a second because they have so many options to remove it.
Yeah, exactly right. They've got a lot of like little knockbacks and displacements and things that can really
knockbacks? They got Monsoon Emperor's Divide. That's pretty big knockback.
Yeah. If you were a Janna in range to hit the Monsoon, you're probably not doing your job of peeling for your AD carry.
That's a good point.
So I was thinking more along the lines of maybe Shyvana jumping through him and knocking him a little bit, or a Condemn Atlas, as opposed to the huge Monsoon that, for some reason, Janna and Nunu are bumping heads in a team fight.
Hey, well, Nunu probably going to be running at the AD carry as fast as he possibly can. If Janna's doing her job, might be near said AD carry. But we are going to be onto the Rift, ladies and gentlemen. Detonation Focus Me taking on Beşiktaş for our final game of the group stage. And don't look at me like that, Spawn.
I didn't look at you like anything. The stat comes through from Beşiktaş in the top lane. You see, it looks like Detonation Focus Me looking for the 2v1 lane. Bonzen gets away with the burnout. Going to be able to jungle very well with that early game. Has the smite, of course, as well. And we see the ward actually killed.
Yeah, not too bad. First CS down here for our Beşiktaş lineup. Locking that away onto Energy, securing the 10 gold. Not too bad. They do get the vision here.
But they only get the shallow ward, and because Detonation Focus Me already passed that one, probably going to be able to secure the lane swap. So even though they have an okay lane against Dumbledore as well as Nardius, they're deciding to stick in the lane swap, try and build Yutapon up to a very carry-oriented position. And because they have the smite advantage, they actually double jungle really quickly.
They certainly do, and it looks like Detonation Focus Me, they're the ones that opted into this lane swap. They'd already sent their AD carry and support topside, and the deep wards came through from Beşiktaş, and then they sent their bottom lane bottom.
Yeah, so they weren't able to see anything. They just chased away the Shyvana. As we see some dances and some laughs coming through from Tholdren and Theophilus.
Oh my goodness.
Probably the two most annoying champions in the game.
Look, Lux has got a pretty frustrating laugh as well, Spawn.
I actually like the Lux laugh. I think that clip of the repetitive Lux laugh with the lasers flying everywhere. Did you never got linked that?
No. No. My friends actually like me, apparently. Energy, though, taking a lot of poke here, taking a lot back there at the same time, but Energy gone down to half health in this mid lane just by one Sand Soldier. Astro and Bonzen are going to be heading towards this red buff,
and they're going to tear through this jungle much quicker than Tholdren and Theophilus can. Shyvana, one of the quickest junglers by herself. You throw in the fact that Rek'Sai is probably the quickest jungler at the moment, and you just got an absolutely devastating tear.
Yeah, they've already taken down those Raptors, is now heading over towards the Wolves as well.
The hard push came in through from Beşiktaş, and they sent Kazu back very early. So all of a sudden, this is a huge creep wave Bonzen can pick up, and he's no threat of being dove, really. That's a mistake by Beşiktaş.
Yeah, and he casually wandered out of both of those skill shots. Of course, Piercing Light semi-skill shot, but still didn't get hit by it. Able to pick up all of the experience mostly, and a couple of creeps as well.
Yeah, so far Bonzen probably ahead in this game over Tholdren, you have to think at the moment. And in the mid lane, Energy going extremely low. He's burned through both of his potions already. We've seen people dominate mid lanes on Azir. You push incredibly quickly, and you can take down turrets really well. Might get a early dragon coming through here, though.
Yeah, and Saros, his power pick in that mid lane so far as what I've seen coming through from Detonation Focus Me has been that Azir. His first game, despite the fact that Detonation Focus Me didn't win, he still dominated that lane. Yeah,
he certainly did look good, and wow, he's looking fantastic right now. Has the Ignite available. Thought he might have wanted to go for that one, but Nunu is able to pick it up. They might even get Tholdren into the mid lane for some extra experience, and that will be a good thing coming through for Beşiktaş.
Yeah, Theocles and Tholdren, they do come around, of course.
You don't want to commit over hard to that one. There is a Rek'Sai hanging out as well, Theocles.
I'm not even sure whether Astaroth was even spotted out there, as he's going to get knocked up. Is Theocles slowed down by the red buff, forced to use the flash?
Tunnel wasn't used for Astaroth. Why did he not flash over the wall and continue to fight him? Would have probably been able to get the second knock-up through had the red buff. I don't think Nunu could have survived.
Well, not going to be the case. Of course, did have the Blood Boil, so maybe that was a reason why.
All of a sudden, Syros, he's extremely low on mana and didn't get a back through, so needs to be able to go back. Just wants to pick up that cannon creep that thankfully followed him through the river. So,
yep, safely able to take down that one.
The Cannon Whisperer. As Tholdren actually chooses to teleport into an extremely frozen lane.
Interesting. And Bonzen actually going to get caught by that Dark Binding. Kazu decides he wants to share in the damage of the Piercing Light. Not optimal, because you can't share it. You're just going to both take damage. Bad news. 22 CS though for Bonzen, only 9 here for Tholdren, who's finally made his way back towards this lane, trying to push it into Udapongo, who's not really offering too much, able to get at least an empowered auto attack from that tumble.
Yeah, he maxes that one first coming through there just to reduce the cooldown, help with the CSing under turret as well. As we see once again another bind landing through there as Bonzen, he's picking up a lot of farm. He's 30 to 10 pretty much if we compare laners, as Kazu actually nearly face checks a bind coming through from there. They've got Rek'Sai on the bottom side of the map though, so we'll see how exactly that one works out.
Yeah, Astaroth still hanging out there in the mid. Energy needing some attention there as he lands a nice combo with the Charm and the Orb of Deception, but cannot eat the spears from these Sand Soldiers, which are just unrelenting there in the mid lane. There's the E as well. Get himself the shield. The solo kill attempted by Seros, but the flash from Energy is going to get him to safety. Seros, the command attack doesn't get the auto, and Theocles at the perfect place at the perfect time gets first blood.
Yeah, so not able to pick that one up, and all of a sudden the mid lane, which was going so well, a huge CS advantage was picked up off the back of that one. Seros went aggressive when he had the lane frozen on his side of the map. He's going to miss out on 2 waves, and that's just horrible news for the Azir player.
Yeah, very, very bad. At least Astaroth able to pick up some of the farm there in the mid. Udapongo as well here on the top side. Able to push in Tholdren, who's about to go to the Mega Gnar, so not going to look quite as squishy as the mini one that he was in the form of before. And Theocles now just going for a bit of a trip throughout the enemy jungle.
Yeah, it certainly is. So we mentioned how Rek'Sai would be looking to get aggressive early and affect the map with some ganks. It's actually Theocles that's able to get it done first time round. So credit to the Nunu player of taking an advantage of an over-aggressive mid laner there. As we see the lane swap coming back through, getting the Shyvana back in the 1v1 now that the Barmy Cinder is picked up. Have to see whether they can get anything done down there as Kazu trying to stop Nadius from backing.
Now, Eye of the Storm actually doing a lot of work there under Kazu, who's tanking up some creep damage, but he's going to notice that Beşiktaş going to be heading back to base and just frustrates them a little bit.
Stops them both actually, so now they can't back, otherwise they'll lose a creep wave. And it looks like Rek'Sai dragged the creeps up as well, so they can get a relatively deep freeze here as Seros, he's continually trying to bully this lane, but he's fallen behind in creeps.
Yeah, he's trying to now attack them down as the Arise is going to come through yet again. There's the E into the Charm, though, as Energy not going to take the last auto attack. Oh my goodness, can't Spirit Rush through that as he tries 2 times and isn't going to make it either time. The Ignite is going to net him the kill, but that was pretty cute.
Yeah, that was definitely a good Spirit Rush. You could see that, Spirit Rush, Emperor's Divide. You could see that's what he was trying to do the entirety of the time. If we watch it out, you can see as soon as he goes in aggressive, he was trying to set it up. He just couldn't get behind him to get him into the turret. In the end, when Energy went aggressive, able to nail it there. And it really was just a very good Ignite at the end that traded it 1 for 1. But probably in Azir's favor.
Yeah, good news for the Azir player as Theocles now in trouble. Kazu's here with Asteroid, and the Nunu is gonna fall down. Does smite the Raptor. The flash from Asteroid. Is he gonna get it? The charm comes down. Kazu picks it up. Asteroid, though, has to be careful. Howling Gale doesn't find it. The knockup's there. Asteroid, that passive is stupid as it's healing him up, but it's not gonna be enough. And Energy answers the 1-for-1.
Yeah, so they're able to get 1-for-1. Better yet, they're getting some turret damage in the bottom lane. Udapon actually trades extremely well with Nadius there and able to shove them off the turret, but needs to be careful.
Udapon has not been careful this entire tournament as he pops the ultimate there, going aggressive 1v2. The Ignite's down, teleport's coming through, beautiful flash. Can he get it? One more auto attack, gets him the kill. Udapon is a god as the Soul Shackles come down as well. Bonzen makes his way into the lane, but how did that happen, Spawn?
Yeah, so able to get the 2v1 because he was just positioning between the creeps and Morgana. And what does Morgana do in this situation? She tried to walk up to get the Soul Shackles, wasn't able to get it done because it was shoved back straight away by a very good Condemn. And Udapon just with a sick 1v2 outplay.
Yeah, beautiful play from the Vayne player. And I did not think that Udapon was going to be able to do that and proved me wrong beautifully.
Yeah, and you see with a huge creep wave crashing into top lane turret, Tholdren has to go back up there. Teleport pretty much wasted. They're going to be able to pick up a dragon with their top lane half dragon. So Shyvana committing.
Oh, yeah, I don't like it.
The crime against her own race, but they'll be able to pick up the equaling dragon for themselves, although it looks like they want to fight.
Yeah, Theocles looking for something. A couple of smites are here. Nice Monsoon going to get rid of the absolute zero there. Eat that one, Spawn. Theocles taking some damage here from Seros as Energy gets a nice Orbit Deception over the top. Kazu trying to get some work done. Nice Howling Gale, but look at the zoning potential from this Azir. He's out of mana, so they're not going to be able to answer too much.
But
in the Dragon.
That's a 4v5, and they lose out on the Dragon. Meanwhile, top lane, Tholdren was able to pick up everything. So they get the world in the end, Beşiktaş. A very good turnaround by forcing the fight.
Yeah, and Seros just completely out of mana. Couldn't offer anything else to that fight.
Yeah, exactly right. But now Tholdren, he needs to be careful that he doesn't overextend here. He got a nice ward, actually. That's what he was walking past for. So he's able to stop up Udapon, who goes to where the most farm is. If anyone has red dot syndrome, it is this guy. He plays so selfishly around the map. But if he's going to be able to carry his team, probably needs to do it.
Yeah, and he's on Vayne as well as Bonzen.
Oh, you're in trouble.
Yeah, actually Dark Binding does land, but Dumbledoge, it doesn't matter as he's going to have to use the flash. Is able to get out of there, and Nadius not going to be able to spend any more time in this bottom side of the map. Bonzen able to clear out this creep wave.
So all of a sudden, because they were looking for a dive on Bonzen, which really isn't realistic on a Shyvana at this point in the game, they don't even get to take down the turret. Nadius is in trouble as well. He doesn't have any summoner spells available. Gonna have to be careful that he doesn't get soloed out. And Tholdren, he's about to transform.
Yeah, speaking of soloed out, as soon as Tholdren uses the wallop here, Udapongo is probably going to try and condemn him against the wall.
Yeah, actually didn't look for it at all. I thought it the exact same thing as you. Soon as you saw the wallop come out, you thought he was going to use it as, wow, Kazu caught.
Yeah, he got ignited. That Foxfire is going to be enough with that Spirit Rush from Energy to get in the kill.
Into top lane as well. Udapon needs to be careful, although it might just be the blue buff invaded on. No, it's not even the blue. Gromp being taken away.
Yeah, Seros does have the blue buff. But Energy really starting to take over here. Does have the Abyssal Scepter. Dumbledoge now in trouble. These supports finding themselves in sticky situations, but Dumbledoge is going to be safe. Udapongo does need to watch out for Theocles.
Yeah, he's actually overcommitted here. Tholdren walking that way.
Interesting
Maybe
that he
gave the
uses the
gank
scrying
away.
up top.
Turret falls meanwhile in the bottom lane, so they're able to pick up the first real meaningful gold objective on the map. They've also got 2 dragons for themselves, Beşiktaş, so they've started the game off very nicely, you would have to say. 1,000 gold advantage and probably map advantage at this point as well, although Vayne farming very nicely, and so is the Shyvana when you compare it to Tholdren.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. So the farm advantage going in favor of Detonation Focus Me, but a lot of the objective control and especially the coordinated play going in favor of Beşiktaş. Kazu going to get spotted out, but the disengaged Queen probably going to be relatively safe.
Yeah, definitely will be. As we see Udapon once again trying to bully Tholdren in there. Gets a tumbled auto attack. Looking for another. Wow, that's half his health.
Not badly done at all. Silverbolt's going to be procced there on that one at the same time, so high health not going to be an issue to deal with. Tholdren still going for their Hex Drinker when was dealing with the Vayne.
So he was,
but of course, into Bonzen, it's a good idea.
Yeah, so what happened is he saw the swap back and he committed to that over probably something like a Phage because of all the magic damage that does come out of Shyvana early game. It was a good early game pickup, but now he's in a lane swap situation. Isn't so great. Also, that Giant felt very confusing. Get the Warden's Mail first because you're against a Vayne at the moment.
And Warden's Mail still works fantastically against Bonzen as well because slowing her down probably going to be a good idea.
Yep, and Azir, if he ever gets an auto attack on you, affecting that guy's attack speed, always good as well. As we see Syros continuing to try to pressure in this mid lane, has lost out on a lot of it. Kazu giving over a kill didn't help as Dumbledore trying to protect Theocles' jungle.
Yeah, he's going to throw out the Dark Binding, not going to find Asteroid though, but he is going to back away. Theocles probably wasn't going to lose that red buff because, of course, Consume pretty good in combination with the Smite for locking down these neutral camps. Asteroid, though, heading towards this bottom side. Lucian getting a bit of free farm now, but Blade of the Ruined King and Berserker's Greaves built up for Yudapongo.
And they're giving him the red buff as well. He's looking to go into full duelist mode here. Has been able to pick it up, so we'll see exactly what he can get done.
Yeah, Seros, though, does use the ultimate. Doesn't really do anything there as Energy able to get through it before it went off.
Black
and
Shield was actually on Energy this time, so all of a sudden you can dive through whatever the heck you want as Tholdren going for the 1v1.
Yeah, Bonzen actually getting ulted into the wall there. Yudapongo gets caught at the same time. Nardius trying to throw down the auto attack. Dumbledore needed one more auto attack, but it's not going to be enough as the Vayne gets caught and destroyed.
Yeah, so all of a sudden, Beşiktaş's hopes into playoffs looking very good as the Detonation Focus Me lineup collapsing all over the map.
Yeah.
Syros fell down, Yudapon fell down. It all happened within about a minute of each other, and all of a sudden, it doesn't look like they have many answers to what has been fantastic vision control coming out of the Turkish lineup.
And you can see the bottom side of the map as well. The inner turret now under fire as Bonzen and Kazu trying to do some work onto Tholdren, who's about to transform into that Mega Gnar. Nice hop to get him over the top of these two members of Detonation Focus Me, and he is going to be safe. Of course, probably wasn't going to die anyway. Not a whole lot of damage there on that top side of the map with the support and top laner, but still able to escape.
Yeah, so Nardius now going back. They've picked up both turrets in the bottom lane, so it's 2 turrets to 0. Top lane turret still standing. Tholdren still working on that one. So game definitely not over yet. There are scaling lineup coming through on Detonation Focus Me. Long lanes is actually good for Vayne, not so great for the other members coming through there, and they do have good anti-siege. But the problem is that there's a very snowbally lineup coming through from Beşiktaş. The earlier they get ahead, the better off they're going to be because of the likes of the Ahri, because of the team fight that will come through from the Gnar. So if anything, they really need to start picking up maybe some more kills coming through from the Detonation Focus Me lineup.
Yep, Seros is going to find Theocles here. Dumbledore, in fact, was waiting off in the wings, trying to get a cheeky Dark Binding to try and lock down this Azir yet again. Dragon now, another opportunity for Beşiktaş, the third of the game for them.
You feel that they have to fight this one. The exhaust will be down for Gnar in the top lane, but they don't go for it at all. Felt like that's a little bit of a missed trick.
Yeah, and Theocles was at half health there as well. They possibly could have got a bit of work done onto this Nunu, who doesn't have any resistances, just made up of health at this stage. So sort of looks a bit deceptively tanky with the sort of large health bar, but is going to still melt, especially to a Vayne. But Yudapon more than happy just to try and extend that that CS lead by going for the 1v1 here in this bottom side of the map.
And he's still looking for it with the ult on. Now probably has to back away because Nunu's also in his lane.
Yeah, the culling comes through as well. Nice creep wave positioning going to help Yudapon, but Nunu, the bane of a Vayne's existence, condemns away Nardius, trying to go for the 1v1. There's the flash as Nardius is going to flash afterwards. The tumble doing some work. Asteroid going to stop Nardius from being able to engage closer. And Kazu with the Eye of the Storm saves the Vayne.
Yeah, so in the end, Yudapon has to use both summoner spells, not willing to on the side as wow. That's a lot of damage coming through. I thought Syros might have gone aggressive there.
Yeah, could have gone for the E, of course. Has looked not afraid to do that. As, oh my goodness, there's the flash into the Emperor's Divide with the Ignite, but Spirit Rush used just in time by Energy.
Yeah, so Energy gets both summoner spells out of there and doesn't fall down. With the Abyssal Scepter actually deceptively tanky as we see Bonzen working on the top lane turret, trying to get that one in their favor. They haven't been able to pick up any objectives so far in Zeros. You're in trouble.
Dark Binding comes through. That locks down the kill there for Nadius in the mid lane. The Lucian starting to do some work. 2-1-1.
Yeah, certainly is. He's caught up in CS as well. Has been able to avoid some of the pressure coming through from Utapon in the bottom lane. Will scale up nicely with the crit build coming through as well. So overall, very promising sides as Theocles looking for Shyvana now, able to clear out some tunnels.
Yep, the Gromp Queen, though, able to lock that one down. Theocles went for the run around, but just going to put down some wards as Nadius going very aggressive. Kazu takes some auto attacks, and that Light Slinger passive helping Nadius do a whole lot of extra damage as Beşiktaş take down the outer turret.
And they're not stopping. They can continue to go here. They actually force Rek'Sai as well, away as well. And Syros still not back in the fight. Now coming back, they'll be able to get this.
Oh my goodness, Kazu does use the Monsoon, but it's not going to be enough energy. Takes down the Janna as Syros now as well.
They can still go again because Syros now is chunked out. They can find a minion wave. No, it doesn't look like they can, but they are going into the top lane.
Yeah, they are going to rotate top. There is a minion wave heading down towards there, so they will be able to clear out the remaining one for Detonation Focus Me. In fact, I believe, no, was that the culling? No, it was the culling was used before. Asteroid now looking to try and help out, but Bonzen may need to ult out. He does. Detonation Focus Me trying to get here to the inner turret. Of course, it is going down low. Utapon continuing to try and clear out the bottom side. Successful hold, but Kazu gets caught. Nadius, beautiful piercing light there. Syros trying to get some auto attacks down.
And all of a sudden, energy is in the bottom lane, so able to get back there. Will be able to clear out the minion wave as well. So Utapon doesn't get anything. They give up 2.5 turrets for only getting 1 in response. Also give up a couple of kills, and now all of a sudden 6,000 gold is the advantage for Beşiktaş.
Yeah, and Utapongo actually going for another...
He goes, yeah, Blade of the Ruined King into Bloodthirster is the build that he went yesterday.
Interesting.
Yeah,
so the double lifesteal, a bit Callister-ish.
Yeah, gets a double lifesteal. It's a very good duelist build. Also gives him some defensive items. Doesn't have to commit to something like a QSS to feel relatively safe in the duel. So I actually like it as a Vayne build coming through. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I like it as well. I think that focusing on being a duelist is fantastic in this game, especially when you kind of want to be split pushing. You want to be having people come to you, because Utapon does look fantastic when he's in these sort of low member count sort of exchanges. He got that fantastic 1v2.
Yeah, exactly right. And, you know, the way he uses it is he stealths up and tries to get the condemn. As we take a look at the standings, of course, this is for the 4th place spot. Beşiktaş, if they win it, will move up to 3-3, equal with the Chiefs Esports Club, but ahead in their head-to-head. So Oceanic's hope is really on the Japanese, whereas Beşiktaş, they look commanding at the moment. And
they do.
In charge of their own destiny, look like they want to seize the opportunity with both hands.
Yeah, well, they are certainly trying to, and they understand that it is all on the line now. This is exactly the time where they need to be pulling out all of the stops to try and pick up this victory. Detonation Focus Me, they've picked up a whole lot of comfortable champions as well. So the Azir in the mid lane. Syros, I mean, he went for some overly aggressive plays without necessary vision, but still looking very, very strong on this Azir, despite falling a little bit behind based on ganks.
Yeah, he certainly has fallen a lot behind at the moment, and we'll have to see whether he can make it work out in the late game. Of course, Azir going to continue to scale extremely well. Ahri does rely a lot more on pick control.
Yeah.
Azir also is very good at keeping a hyper carry safe in a team fight. Of course, Vayne can dance in and out of the wall, whereas, as we've seen demonstrated very successfully from Energy, you just headbutt it if you try and get through if you're the enemy team. So I like the team comp they've put together, but I just think that they've fallen slightly too far behind to make it work.
Yeah, they are looking to probably scale a little bit if they can, but it's looking like the scaling not quite going to be happening to the way that they want, because, of course, Nunu helps Lucian scale incredibly well. Gnar is going to be fantastic irrespective. So it's a frightening situation if you're a Japanese fan, or if you're an Oceanic fan as well, because the Chiefs' hopes riding on Japan, and they're not doing so well this game.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't look like it. But, you know, you mentioned the scaling, and they kind of have huge scaling on their lineup. Shyvana as well as Azir and Vayne, probably the 3 best late gamers in all respective roles. Shyvana very, I guess, underrated in her bruiser capability of being able to solo out AD carries. So we see Bonzen continue to farm up. Has been able to get a lot of CS We'll have to see exactly how they make it work, but Beşiktaş, they're in firm control.
They most certainly are. Asteroid trying to get some wards around this Baron pit. Not quite as much Baron focus as we had in our previous game, which was started up at about 20 minutes. But not going to happen this time around. Stinger and that Morellonomicon completed now for Seros. 30% extra cooldown reduction going to be helping that attack speed here for Azir.
Yeah, see whether he can make it work for anything as the pick squad. Good vision control actually on the bottom side of the map coming through, and Asteroid needs to be careful.
He does. Does get informed that he was spotted out by that ward, as energy is going to come through here as well. More vision available, and Beşiktaş just really strangling out Detonation Focus Me, because well, they've got so much vision.
The way you stop a hyperscaling comp is just make sure that they can never pick up any farm. They take away the red buff, they take away all the CS. As Nadius takes a little bit of damage, but they're in for a fight.
Yeah, Dumbledore's looking for the ultimate there as Kazu breaks it. Dark Binding not going to find the mark either as Charm goes wide by energy. Theocles just running around like a weird-looking robot, and Beşiktaş, they went for something but couldn't find it. Udapongo, nice outplay. He's going to use the ult, but oh my goodness. The Gnar into the wall. There's the condemned. Dumbledore's actually taking some damage. Oh my goodness, that was close. But the Culling's going to tear him apart, and Azir in the meantime does fall down as well.
Yeah, so able to get the Azir with some lack of vision coming through as Seros was trying to save his AD carry player. They actually don't start off the Baron, so it's just going to be 2 kills for no objective picked up here, but the gold advantage ever growing for the Turkish lineup. 8,000 gold ahead exactly at this point in the game, and some huge carries. Ari 6-1-1, Lucian 4-1-2 has that Infinity Edge Static Shiv and Boots 2 combo built up already at only 23 minutes in. So he's an absolute beast, and they'll pick up their 4th Dragon of the game in only 23 minutes.
Yeah, and when you don't have the scaling advantage, picking up these Dragons a fantastic idea. Having a gigantic gold lead also going to be helping out our Turkish team. And Theocles, with all the secure in the world, they're going to lock this one down. And Beşiktaş have just looked so strategically strong in this game, and they know exactly how to play this one out, based on mostly this exceptional vision control that they have around the map.
Yeah, exactly right. So able to get it done as we see Bonzen continuing to clear out farm lanes. He's nearly got his Randuin's Omen, so he's building towards that one. As Udapon has maybe overextended for some farm in the top lane, although no one really here to make him pay. Lack of vision does make it extremely scary for him to come up this far.
Yeah, Dumbledore actually looking for a Dark Binding up here.
He fancies a 2v2 again.
Yeah, there's the ultimate to come down. Is he going to be able to dodge away from the Dark Binding? Nice Zonya's Hourglass from Dumbledore. As Bonzen's going to come through here as Thaldrin, the last auto attack to come through. Dumbledore, oh my goodness, Udapon thought he was going to be able to pick that one up as the last few creep shots are going to come down onto the, oh my, that was so well calculated by the Vayne player. Udapongo able to pick that one up, heads back towards his top side. Nice tumble, but the Gnar ult into the wall. Thaldrin still has to be careful, but Theocles and Energy, they've made their way in. Absolute Zero secures it, and Beşiktaş make it a 1-for-1.
Can they catch the Lucian in the mid lane though?
Oh, Nadius picks up a kill on the support. Asteroid flashing on top of the Lucian, and the shutdown here for the jungler.
So in the end, 2v2, the bottom lane falls on both sides of the map. Shutdown available as well. Energy.
Yeah, Energy looks for it. Nice Emperor's Divide as Energy might be caught out here just a little bit. The flash over the wall. There's the shield coming through from the E. And the shutdown from Seros. I told you he was a god on this champion.
Yeah, he's very good and able to get it done in the end. Picks up a shutdown. Not willing to call him a god. He's got a score line of 2-5-2.
I've been talking up his Azir this whole game, and I feel like that was the time where he's proven that he's good at the champion.
2-4-5-2, able to win a 2v1. You know, I'll say that he definitely read the situation better, but a godlike performance is something that I'll reserve for other Azir players. As he is able to pick up the shutdown at least and move his team into a better position. They've closed it to about a 6,500 gold lead. Beşiktaş still definitely in the driver's seat, but as we keep mentioning, scaling is there for the Japanese team.
Yeah, and the Japanese team's still not afraid to make plays. A lot of the things that we've been saying about some of these teams here has been the fact that they haven't been willing to make aggressive plays during this tournament. But that's not the case for Detonation Focus Me at all.
Yeah, it certainly isn't. They want a 1v1. They want to out-skill. Don't look really great in the team fights. I think that's where Beşiktaş have it. And if they just group up and force objectives, I don't know whether Detonation Focus Me can go with them. But in the 1v1, in the 2v1 even, Udapon and Siros look real good.
They certainly do. 2-5-2 though for Azir, not necessarily being represented in the scoreline all that well. Has picked himself up that Void Staff now with that Morellonomicon. Probably wants some more flat AP and that Death Cap to come through relatively soon. Udapon, again, just pushing up in this top side. He's going to actually back away, so Spidey Sense is tingling here as there is so much vision for the Turkish team in this top side of the map. Yeah, but have
they started up Baron? They've got very good vision over that area. They can get in there, and all of a sudden, Asteroid, wow, don't check that brush.
Yeah, he isn't going to. Tremor Sense didn't see the stopped members there in the brush, but he's going to find out with the Prey Seeker.
Yeah, so able to fire the Prey Seeker in, wait until it hit, and then backed away. So good move coming out there. I'm surprised Energy didn't commit a little bit more, using maybe the Spirit Rush to get out there and try and get the charm, but in the end, it means that nothing going to be happening. And the longer this occurs, the better off DFM are. If they're able to continue to stall out this game, get Shyvana split pushing, 0-0 1, 44 CS up. It's already in a position where no one's going to really kill Shyvana. But in a minute 30, they have the 5th Dragon available to try and close this game out.
Yeah, and the Sun Turret now erected here for Detonation Focus Me.
He builds them really quickly. Turrets, they should take a while to set up.
Yeah, I know. And look, not sure where the Sun is as well. I mean, Sun pretty big. That is a smaller turret than the Sun, but Beşiktaş setting up for this Dragon. 1 minute and things could go horribly wrong for Detonation Focus Me, like you just said.
Yeah, certainly would. If they are able to pick up the 5th Dragon, you feel at that point, Energy catches anyone, they completely explode. This guy has been able to pick up the Luden's Echo as well, and is in an absolute monstrous position as once again Darkbind misses. Nunu actually clearing out some wolves, I believe, and on the side of Detonation Focus Me, they're going to have to deal with that bottom lane eventually, although they're currently sending Shyvana back to base. So no, cancels the recall, goes and grabs the bottom lane.
Yep, Sun Turret about to fall down. Udapon going to try and clear out some of this.
They sent Kazu back, however. That means that they don't have very much vision over this area. 30 seconds until Dragon number 5 is available for Beşiktaş. Teleport just not available. You think it might be up in 24 seconds. It's going to be a very close thing. Able to run out regardless. Top lane is the worry though, because there's a huge creep wave pushing in. They need to send Shyvana up there to deal with that. Udapon's probably wanting to grab it himself as...
Oh, the catch onto the jungler. This could be the big deal. Beşiktaş trying to take down Asteroid. He gets slowed down. Theocles trying to come through, but a nice tunnel. Going to get Asteroid to safety, but it is going to mean that the jungler very, very low. Needs to be able to go back to one of these tunnels. Void Rush is available. Seros gets caught, but Beşiktaş not pulling the trigger just yet. The inner turret falls down on the top side, but Detonation Focus Me have to ignore it. They need to fight for this Dragon right now. Oh my goodness, there's the massive ult to come through, and another one. Look at all of the damage that came from that Nath Aldrin. Very, very low as Bonzen's going to fall down. Instant double kill for Dumbledore. It's going to be the Lucian picking up a kill. It's a whitewash so far. In fact, already done for Beşiktaş, and man, that was quick.
Yeah, the ace comes through. They pick up Dragon number 5. They will move over to Baron most likely and pick up every objective on the map. Now an 11,000 gold advantage, and Beşiktaş have probably just secured themselves a playoff spot and sank the Chiefs all in one fell swoop.
Yeah, really beautiful play coming through from the Turkish lineup. They got on top of the Vayne with the Gnar ultimate, and Thaldrin, he's been able to do that every single time.
Yeah, certainly has. And Atlas, the only thing better feeling than probably beating one person out on the Rift is being able to win a game and then beat 2 teams at the same time. That's probably a pretty sick feeling coming through for the Turkish lineup.
Oh, most definitely. The 2-for-1 deal that you'd expect to get from a supermarket. Instead, you get it from Summoner's Rift.
How did we get to supermarkets? You're hungry.
2-for-1 deals.
Could have been anything.
Oh, come on. I just feel like domestication jokes are funny.
So there is a 5th Dragon. There is a Baron buff now coming through for Beşiktaş. The siege is definitely on in the mid lane. Can probably dive. And Udapon, he's still overextending for CS, trying to eke out every single bit. There is so much armor build up, and he doesn't have the attack speed, so probably does need that last Whisper next. As Siros still trying to secure the base for his team. Nailed by another bind.
Yeah, Siros is most definitely dead. Nadius picks up that kill. Energy looking for Udapongo. Look at the burst damage from this Ari. Picks it up. Another going to fall down as Astarore's dead. And the Dragon's Descent is going to get Bonds into safety, but the base can't Dragon's Descent. And man, Nadius, that was disgusting damage.
Yeah, sick damage coming out of Nadius. They're pushing through here. Have the very tanky member in Tholdren just tank up the turret. They'll win it here, Beşiktaş, and all of a sudden, they're in the 4th seed for playoffs.
Yeah, they're going to be going up against the Bangkok Titans in the semi-finals as well. Going to be a frightening game, but coming off fantastic momentum as the Nexus fall down. And Japan, they're going to be going home. They were already out of the playoff contention, but the Turkish lineup, the home team, are going towards those semis.
Yeah, they certainly are, and they did it, as you said, emphatic fashion. Controlled the Dragon, had that timer on the game. If you're against a scaling lineup, doesn't matter. Just pick up the Dragon, continue to fight over objectives that you know you can win. Then in the end, they rolled over the top of Japan.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a fairy tale story here as well. Beşiktaş 2-3, looking like they were potentially not able to get a spot in those playoffs if the rest of these teams picked up the 4-2, but managed to clinch a spot based on a head-to-head against the Oceanic lineup. And now we'll see whether they can get past the top team here in the International Wildcard Invitational.
Yeah, exactly right. So we have the 2 games. It will be the Bangkok Titans taking on Beşiktaş. 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3 will, of course, be Int versus the CIS region. I believe, actually, Hard Random picked up that 2nd seed coming in there. So 2 huge games, best of 5 from now on, guys, and it's going to be extremely exciting League of Legends.
Yeah, it's going to be massive, and we'll see exactly how this one's going to roll out, because, of course, seeing multiple games from these teams against one another is really going to give us a whole lot more information.
Yeah, exactly right. Best of 1s on one side. You can definitely, I guess, throw some oddball strategies out of there, but the best of 5 is where we really learn a lot about these teams. We'll see whether the momentum can continue or whether we have some big upsets.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But ladies and gentlemen, that means that's all from us today. And man, what a huge day 3. We are going to be back tomorrow with the semi-finals action. So come see us then, same time, for more International Wildcard Invitational. But on behalf of myself, Spawn, Pastry Time, and Papa Smithy, of course, who weren't with us today but have been casting throughout the rest of the Invitational, and our whole production crew, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.